say it ain't so. Apparently. How Drake just dissed Kendrick Lamar and give for fantastic hip hop. If you're new to the channel, make sure like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K, we at 3K. I appreciate y'all. We just hit this landmark. Oh my goodness! So apparently, some tracks that came out and they alluded to dissing Kendrick. If it, I personally just wish he would stop. Like, just move on. Like, just move on, please. Because there's so much new stuff that's coming out and alluding to stuff and things that aren't true or aren't that. And I'm just all like, oh, oh. And the reason why I'm not covering every single thing is just very specific things, because I'm not, it's one of those things where I'm actually at a point where like I'm not even reacting to as far as like the new tracks and stuff like that drop. Apparently the Benny the Butcher one got removed as far as from UMG and all these different things. It's just that saga just needs to be put to end. And if this didn't cause Drake to just leave the sleeping giant Kendrick Lamar alone, please, Kendrick, just drop all of the just bomb nuke this motherfucker to oblivion so he can't say your name ever again. He just needs to take this L. But maybe I'm going too far. Let's see what's going on. What do you got for
Now,
me?
despite dropping 11 whole songs since his self proclaimed conclusion of his beef with Kendrick Lamar, for some
Hmm.
reason, Drake is still trying to run around and clear his name of any of the harm and damage that has been done to him this summer. And just after releasing 3 new solo songs that just finished their first week of official tracking, which, based on where those songs charted on the Billboard Hot
Hey,
100, we
doing
can
good.
already see that the hype for new Drake music has never been lower. And now, despite all of the signals telling Drake to just lay down and
For
sit back for a
real.
while, this
Just
has not stopped
stop.
him from releasing more music, as he has
Uh,
given us another 3 pack of songs. And now, with this collection of tracks, one of the cuts is the official release of the Super Soak leak that Kai Cenat previewed, which is now titled SOD. And while Drake has put out this track that has been sitting in his vault for a while, what's interesting to note is that Lil Yachty is no longer on it. But now, in addition to this, instead
yeah,
of
Lil
having someone
Yachty
like 21
apparently has
Savage take
been going on some crazy stuff, and something with this woman that was a part of his group, Concrete Boys or something like that. I was hearing some of her music, and I was just like, "What? What is going on with hip hop?"
hit for him and diss Kendrick Lamar like we saw on his last release of music as the leading artist with his track It's Up, Drake has finally decided to speak directly to Kendrick Lamar and everything that has happened in their beef for the first time with his new track No Face, which happens to feature Playboy Cardi. And now with this cut, what's interesting is that based on Drake's lyrics, this is the first song he has released in months that was definitively recorded after his beef with Kendrick Lamar, and that is actually trying to address everything that went down in a way that is somewhat direct in order to finally move on. And after trying to
Somewhat
distract people
direct.
from what happened for so long, I mean, I guess this is worth something. But now, when it comes to delivering on opening up about the most important rap beef of the entire century and
He
trying to
fell
spin the
flat.
narratives masterfully crafted against you by Kendrick right back on him, this is a much more challenging task. And when it comes to how Drake responded to all this here, on a song that, just from its musicality and atmosphere, has much darker production than he has been on recently and has vocals from him that sound a little more lively than the near robotic performances he has been phoning in on a lot of what we have heard this summer.
Freaking AI
Drake
and
has
Ghost
set the
Riders.
stakes higher from the absolutely incredibly low bar he has been at. But now, when it comes to actually making a good moment for the first time in months, things got a lot more complicated, as Drake's response to Kendrick Lamar and everything that went down is a lot more interesting. And now, to initially set the scene,
Ugh.
on the first verse of this track, Drake starts to let us into his actual headspace for a change, and instead of just trying to gaslight listeners and act like nothing happened in his career recently, right off the bat, he is at least acknowledging the tensions that have been lingering around and calls out Kendrick Lamar and also a lot of other people he is beefing with, like Future and Metro Boomin, as he says, I gotta know how you get lit off the person you hated on. And now off
You know, it's. I guess it's an interesting angle to go at that. I mean, it, he really just needs to leave it alone. Like, I don't know why he wants to keep on going back and forth. And I've been noticing this with several artists who are around this age, Big Sean, um, a couple of other people. I'm gonna check out that ASAP Rocky song, but there's this. I gotta prove myself. I gotta be hard. I gotta be this, and I'm just like, yo. There's so many other aspects of hip hop and just making music in general, and it's just all like, why, man? Just leave it alone,
This is a
Drake.
clear dig at Kendrick and a diss track that is designed to be a banger and not like us, as Drake is trying to flip things and say that Kendrick is the weird one for making an anthem about the guy he hates, and then following this up, Drake
I
questions
don't
the
know why.
legitimacy of the success and numbers Kendrick has pulled off with his diss tracks, and especially not like us, as he says. Numbers untouchable, they got the data wrong. And
see,
this seems like
see, what irritates me about these apparent numbers that are botched and fake is you cannot fake the TikTok videos, the bands that are sitting up there freaking doing this, the clubs that sit up there and throw the song and all the people know the words to it. You can't fake that. It matches what would happen with those type of numbers. Like, I don't get how, I guess that's the way of going about it, but what's crazy is this ain't even nothing new. This was an angle that was put out earlier. Academics and them was saying, like, oh, these numbers was fake and da 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 da. So why would Drake sit up there and in this moment to address this, say something like this? Honestly, it's whack. It's whack. It just sounds whack.
Drake is trying to accuse Kendrick of using bots to stream Not Like Us and run up its numbers to become the most streamed diss track of all time, which was an allegation that was thrown Kendrick's way following
like
the
I
beef,
said.
and then trying to make himself sound bigger than all of this conflict. Drake says, "This is the moment I know they've been praying on, trying on the boy, but F it, I'm staying on." And then now in the rest
Nah.
of this verse, everything Drake says following here is pretty much just flattering himself and hyping up the fact that he is about to do something insane, which after almost 15 tracks
Okay, so what does he say? So he says he's trying to do that acting tough again, and it's just like, come on, Drake, like, come on. Oh, keep on sending me slaps to go crazy on. 40 keeps saying it's time to stay patient. It's so many people we turning the tables on. Okay.
fact that he is about to do something insane, which after almost 15 tracks
Does,
following this
does
beef,
it get
it is kind of
me?
hard to believe that Drake would
Yeah,
still be saying this and trying to create hype
seriously.
instead of just actually doing it, but now later in this track. On the second verse, Drake gets a lot more personal as he goes into more depth about what is going on in this moment in his career and life, as he says, "Cause I keep on talking about beefing and business and money and women. It's no diagnosis, they emptied the clip.
Because I keep talking about beef and the business and money and this. I mean, it's just all like, but it's garbage, like it's just all like Drake just do something good because this ain't it,
And with
bro.
these lines, Drake is pretty much acknowledging what happened. It is saying that Kendrick, Future, Metro Boomin, and everyone else who came at him went all out with everything they had and tried to destroy him. And while this
I
may
don't think
seem
that
like
was
an admission of
everything
defeat
Kendrick
initially,
had.
Drake quickly switches things up here as he says, "Quick switch that out and I came back reloaded. I'm just so happy that people who envied and held that stuff in got to finally showing. I'm over the moon, yeah, we'll see you boys soon. I'm spreading my wings, I hop out cocoon. I'm studio trapping, I'm locked in the room." And now with this, these are the biggest disses on the entire track, as Drake is trying to diminish what Kendrick Lamar especially pulled off as he tries to make their rivalry seem like this one-sided hatred on Kendrick's end, and again, by acting like he's happy that people who don't like him have found success by musically attacking him. Drake is trying to make himself sound like he is bigger than all of this, but as in the end of the verse, he is clearly alluding to the fact that he is not done with this situation and something will be coming to settle the score and get revenge. He kind of contradicts his emotions, but regardless,
Yeah.
what is definitive here is that Drake is using this track as a warning shot to all the rappers who went against him, but especially Kendrick Lamar, and now with all of this. While if this was the first song Drake released since the end of the beef, or a prelude or teaser to something actually coming, It may have been a decent move, but at this point, as Drake has pretty much given us an album's worth of features and singles this summer that have all had little to no impact on the entire
That's the
landscape of
thing.
music, which is a
Like,
first in his career. I think in this overblown vanity track, where he is clearly trying to reignite a beef with guys who clearly beat him, I think the question we all
seriously,
have to ask
like,
is why is Drake still sitting here and hyping up what he is gonna do instead of just actually going out and
yeah,
doing it? I mean,
that's
for
the
all intents
thing.
and purposes, the clock has expired for Drake, and he is being pushed further and further out of anyone's good graces with every day that passes. So, with all this controversy and scrutiny that he's been facing, and on top of all the damage from the battle with Kendrick, because of all the bad songs he has given us this summer, which has created a narrative that Drake has lost his touch and is never gonna get it back. Why is he
Seriously.
doing nothing but just pretending that he is plotting? Because while this song isn't necessarily bad, this or any of the
Because
other Drake songs are not going to send waves into the music industry like any other Drake singles just months before this would.
because he is in his head thinking he is this mafia dude who goes around and even the narrative, like people think like, oh, Kendrick just went all out. Here's the thing. I think, hey, I really think that wasn't much for Kendrick to do. He said sometimes you gotta pop out and show nigga. Like, yo, this I people are really downplaying Kendrick. And it's funny because I have conversations, I've been seeing certain reactions and stuff like that of people reacting to his old stuff like it's new. And I'm just all like, yo, where y'all been at? That's why I knew in this beef, lyrically, musically, Kendrick was torching Drake. It wasn't a surprise. What's crazy to me is there'll be people in the comment section that are just all like, Drake is the most da 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 da, and he's still the most streamed artist. So what? What does that have to do with anything? And as Fantastic Hip Hop pointed out, with the charts as far as everything that's been, going on, it it shows that he released all these different songs throughout the summer. And I guess his thing is whether good or bad, people are still talking about me throughout the summer. And he comes with this track talking like, oh, I'm just glad that y'all, got this stuff out now. Da, 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 da. So that was all part of my master plan. And it's just all like, bro, nobody believes you. Except for your fans, whatever, man. Y'all can have that shit. This is wild. To me, it's fascinating. I don't think that as a hip hop artist and a fan of hip hop, I don't think I've seen this level of delusion. Like legit. They're like there's of course been delusion. There's of course been ego driven crazy stuff. There's been all of that. But this is on an entire different planet. Like I'm really trying to understand why can't Drake just leave it alone? Why can't he just has to do this? And it's like I said, the whole numbers thing, y'all stands can say that. Y'all need to go run your boy's numbers up because he ain't doing too well in the charts right now. So y'all need to worry about that. But this is crazy. If you want to see the full video, the link will be in the description. But Drake just needs to leave it alone. He really just needs to leave it alone. Like I said, I'm not even excited for Betty Drake. Everything that I've been hearing has been utter garbage. And I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And let me know some other topics and stuff y'all want to hear in the hip hop sector of things. My channel encompasses all different types of stuff that I'm interested in. But if you want to see like some specific videos that may not be reactions, maybe me talking about like actual stuff, then let me know some topics, in the comments. But hey, it's Miss Composition and MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K. We at 3K mark. Make sure to check out the description for my music books, comics, and more. All right, ciao. Peace.